Crystal, yes.
I'm sorry. File number 22-20896FH. I have David Goldstein appearing on behalf of Mr. Crystal, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pre-trial conference in this matter. Mr. Goldstein, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, Mr. Sneed and I have been talking about resolution, but we have not reached a final resolution yet. So we're going to need a little more time. Now, I want to alert the court. We have according to my notes, if this is accurate, we have a jury trial scheduled for the 7th of February. But when we set that date, I let the court know that I also had a trial on Monday, the day before, in Washtenaw County. And I'm pretty sure that other trial is going to go. But we should probably not move this trial yet, but I just wanted to alert Mr. Sneed and the court both that my other case is probably going to go.
All right, so you'll be able to let us know Monday morning then, Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Goldstein?
I can probably let you know the week before, the Thursday or Friday before, but yeah.
Okay, I mean, at the earliest, maybe Friday afternoon, let us know, because I'm trying to keep them on the docket right until I have to move them, because everything seems to be falling out. So,
but in terms of this case, Your Honor, unless Mr. Sneed has another thought, if you could give us another week or so, we're going to try to get this matter resolved.
Okay, Mr. Sneed?
That's all accurate, Judge. So,
February 1 pre-trial, Mr. Goldstein?
Is that 2 weeks from today? Yeah, that's fine.
yes.
That's fine.
All right, so we will set this over to February 1 at 8:30 for a pre-trial. And you can come in person or you can Zoom, right, Mr. Crystal?
Thank you.
All right, you'll do the stiff order to adjourn?
I will do that, Your Honor. And I'll sign your name, Mr. Sneed.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, is that all you had, Mr. Goldstein?
That's all I have today, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Crystal. Your bounce continue. All right, is anybody else in the courtroom a defendant? No, we're just watching. Okay. All right, so I am just waiting on the jail. Miss Hennigan,
Yes,
are you a defendant?
Yes.
I have Camille Pasquale, and he needs a translator. He's Spanish speaking only.
Yeah, I know. Nobody told us that. You got to let us know that like immediately in advance, or we can't order one. So what's your attorney's name?
Matthew Murphy.
All right, and what's your name?
Chad Fisher.
Miss Van Duzen, are you handling Mr. Fisher today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so sir, Miss Van Duzen will be representing you today. Now Mr. Fisher's in person, Miss Van Duzen. Do you want me to have him go out to the hallway to use the Zoom device there to talk to you in a breakout room?
Your Honor, in this case, it's one that it looks like I need to do some motions on. So I could talk to him after court. So
Okay, well, let
just
me
get a
call the
motion
case
date,
then.
another pretrial.
All right, so, all right, Mr. Fisher, you want to come up to the podium? All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Chad Stephen Fisher, file number 22-21172FH. Mr. Fisher is present in the courtroom today, and I have Dawn Van Duzen representing him, and I have Isaac Steen on behalf of the people. Ms. Van Duzen, for your information, I do have a letter from my pretrial services coordinator, Darren Coast, in the file. Mr. Fisher has a contempt of court today at 8:30 for testing positive for fentanyl twice. Since the violation, he has missed 8 consecutive drug screens. He was playing games with testing prior to this file being bound over to us. It is the recommendation and the request, plus we don't have fingerprints, that his bond be revoked. So, Ms. Van Duzen, he is charged with possession of morphine, methadone, operating with the presence of a controlled substance, driver's license suspended, and this is a fourth offense notice. His prior record is attempted malicious destruction of a building, possession less than 25 grams, assault with a dangerous weapon. So, Ms. Van Duzen, I am going to need to proceed with the contempt today.
Okay, I understand, Your Honor. Didn't know there was one. I could talk to him out in the hall or.
I'm not gonna let him leave the courtroom.
Okay, so
I'm gonna arraign him and I'm probably going to take him into custody and we'll set him over till tomorrow morning.
understand, Your
All
Honor.
right, so Mr. Fisher, we have a contempt of court for today in light of the fact that you have missed 8 drug screens and tested positive for fentanyl twice. So this would be a contempt of court for violation of your bond conditions, which means the maximum penalty you could be facing on the contempt of court could be up to 93 days in jail and a $10,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, sir, do you understand that you do have a right to have an attorney represent you on this contempt of court? And Ms. Van Duzen is here today. Would you like an attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so at this time, sir, I will appoint counsel to represent you and I'm going to remand you the custody of the sheriff's department because I'm not sure if you're under the influence of anything at this time. All right,
I also have a letter from my boss for you.
I don't care.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a recess and we're going to remand you to custody.
Can I give her my stuff?
That's fine.
Thank you very much. Yes. Okay. Yeah, kind of. I got messed up shoulders too. I got so much.
86 to 28. I have one custody up there.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what?
Ma'am, he's in custody now, so you can sit back there. Jeff, is somebody coming for him?
Yeah, but I don't know how far they're at. All right.
Okay, Miss Hennigan, you need to use a different device. That's not working. All we get is green screen.
Okay, Your
Can you
Honor,
see
I have
David?
another laptop. I'll try
All right,
that.
is anybody in here a defendant? A defendant for a case? No? Okay. All right, so, we'll bring back Mr. Fisher in the morning. Okay. So I have nobody from the jail.
Your Honor, sorry to interrupt. That's at 8:15 tomorrow morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, let's see who we have. Mr. Daly, who do you represent? Mr. Schisler?
Yes, I have him and Logan Faust and
Okay.
Nicole Hendricks Hannon.
Okay, let me see who has, Yancey is Matt Murphy. All right, so Ms. Van Duzen, will you be handling Jackson Yancey?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna let him in and I can put you in a breakout room.
Yes, Your Honor.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes, Ms. Watts.
Hi, Mr. Yancey actually retained my firm just yesterday to represent
Excellent.
him.
Okay, all right, well, we'll be right with you then. Let's see, who else do we have? He's in jail. Hold on, Ms. Van Duzen, I'm trying to find somebody that is Mr. Murphy's. Am I waiting? I have Ronald Wood. Are you handling Wood this morning, Ms. Van
Yes.
Duzen?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I think he's the next one. All right, Mr. Wood, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Wood, I'm going to open up a breakout room and put you and Ms. Van Duzen in the breakout room. She's going to be representing you today. So I'm gonna open that breakout room. Go ahead and join. All right, Mr. Daly, you are here on Schisler. All right. Mr. Schisler, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is in the matter of, did I not open the breakout room, Ms. Van Duzen?
You did, Your Honor. Sorry, I was typing a memo to somebody else.
Okay. All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Aaron E. Schisler, file number 22-20739H. I have James Daly representing Mr. Schisler, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pre-trial conference. We are set for jury trial on April 12 of 2023 at 10:30 in the morning. Mr. Daly, how would you like to proceed today?
I believe we're set for trial, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so I have a deadline for filing all motions, case-specific jury instructions and voir dire questions of April 3rd. And we will see you back for trial on April 12 at 10:30 in the morning. All right, bonds continued. Thank you, Mr. Schisler.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Daly.
Thank you.
All right, so Ms. Watts, let me get Mr. Yancey. Mr. Jackson Yancey, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jackson Bailey Wayne Yancey, file number 22-21041FH. Of attorney Mercedes Watts appearing on behalf of Mr. Yancey. Ma'am, what is your P number?
P82150.
All right, and will you be filing your appearance today?
Yes, Your Honor. I apologize. I thought it was filed yesterday.
Oh, it might have been. I just haven't gotten it yet. So that's fine. It gets, over there and then it takes a little while to come over here. All right. So this is, let me look here. This is the first pretrial conference in this matter. Miss Watts, just for your information, you get 2 pretrials and on the third one, then I set it for trial. All right. Okay, just because we still have a backlog of trials from the pandemic. So, all right, so Ms. Watts and let's see, Isaac Sneed on behalf of the people. So Ms. Watts, how do you wish to proceed today?
Thank you, Your Honor. I was actually gonna ask for a second pretrial so that I can have time to review the case files. Attorney, is it Van Dusen? She did message me and she asked for my email so that she could send me the files in the case so that I have a moment to review them. So I was going to ask for an additional second pretrial, but since you already have one already scheduled, I don't know if it's necessary.
No, today's the first pretrial. So I'm looking at my next available. I have February 22nd or March 8th.
March 8th, please.
Okay, so bring it. All right, so we will set this for a pretrial conference on March 8th. That'll be at 8:30 in the morning via Zoom. Ma'am, our procedure is you would do a stipend order adjourning from today to that date. And then Mr. Sneed, could she sign your name with permission?
Yes, please.
Okay, do you have any questions, Ms. Watts?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right, so we will see you back on March 8th at 8:30 in the morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Hold on, Mr. Daly. Who else did you say you had?
I have Logan Faust and Nicole Hendricks Hannon.
And who else? What was the second one? Logan Faust and who?
Nicole Hendricks Hannon, Hannon, Hannon.
I have you down for Danielle Rosenberg too. Do you still have her?
I didn't have it set for today. She's got a sentencing coming up. I was going over to the jail to see her today and go over the questions.
And then I think that Hannon file might be in front of Judge Olsamer. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let me grab Faust. All right, Ms. Van Dusen, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ronald J. Wood, file number 22-20782FH. Ms. Van Dusen, you had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Wood.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, Mr. Wood is going to plead not guilty, and we are asking for a trial date that's within 4 to 6 weeks and a pretrial a week prior.
All
Don't mind that we're back up.
Okay, Miss Adams, I'm looking, I know we have a murder trial that's gonna last a couple weeks, but Miss Adams, I'm looking for, this is, let me see, this is a operating while intoxicated, so that'll be a 1-day trial. He does have a third offense notice. So if he's convicted, he could be looking at 5 years in prison. Okay, so Ms. Adams, I'm looking for a 1-day trial date and we can stack that behind something.
Okay. We could do. We could do a backup on Tuesday, February 14th, or Wednesday, February 15th is open.
The 14th
Ms.
is
Van
fine
Dusen.
with me.
Say that again.
14th is okay with me.
All right, so we will set this for 1-day jury trial as a backup on February 14th of 2023. That would be at 9 a.m. And I will, let's see, if we're doing February 14. I will set February 3rd as the final date to hear any motions and also for jury instructions and voir dire questions specific to this charge to be filed. Is there anything else, Ms. Van Dusen?
Do we have a pretrial on that date also?
On the 14th?
Oh, no,
Or before.
February 3rd, just the week prior.
I can do a pretrial on February 8th,
Perfect.
and that will be at 8:30 in the morning. All right, so Mr. Wood, your next date will be February 8th at 8:30 in the morning for a pretrial. That can be via Zoom. Your trial is scheduled for February 14th of 23 at 9 a.m. And that will be in person. And anything else, Ms. Van Dusen?
No, Your Honor.
I filled out a scheduling order with all those dates and we will get a copy of that out to you. All right, Mr. Wood, thank you very much. Your bond's continued. All right, who do I have? Mr. Macias?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Puda, hold on one second.
Is he in the waiting room?
I'm sorry?
Is my client in the waiting room? Juan Diego Lorea Macias?
Yep, he is. Okay, and who do I have from the jail? I have somebody in orange. What's your name, sir?
Judge, that should be Mr. Pasquale.
Pasquale?
Yes.
All right, so Miss, okay. All right, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Camilo Hilario Pasquale, file number 23-21208 FC. I have Tamaris Hennigan appearing on behalf of Mr. Pasquale, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. Ms. Hennigan, I believe this is the individual you mentioned earlier that needs an interpreter. The court needs at least a week or a week and a half's notice to be able to get an interpreter. So I'm gonna have to set this over, Ms. Hennigan, to do so.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Right.
And just for my knowledge, then I will need to contact you each time that he has a court date to do that.
No, once we know they need an interpreter, we'll follow that file, but we had no way of knowing he was going to need an interpreter today.
Okay, my
So-
apologies. He went through district court first, so I assumed it was in his file. He was bound over. So
We
my
don't get the
apologies.
same file.
Got you. All right.
They opened a new file for us and that information was not on there. So I'm going to set, Ms. Adams, how soon do you think we can get an interpreter? Would 1 week be enough?
I can try a week. Usually we like to do 2, but I can try a week.
Okay, so I'm gonna set it for February 1 at 8:15 for rearrangement. Ms. Hennigan, are you able to converse with him? Do you speak Spanish?
I only, as they say, un poquito, Your Honor, a little bit, but there is an officer at the jail that does speak Spanish, and I can go over and see him today and take a local person with me. There's a pastor that interprets for us when we go over, so I can get to talk to him.
Okay.
Your Honor, I do
All
have
right.
somebody on staff I can call and have them call into you.
I just need to let them know what's happening.
Yeah, I could call them and have them interpret over the phone or Zoom in.
I probably, okay. Could you have them zoom in?
Yes, I will.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dawn.
All right, let's see who I got. I have Mr. Puda is next. So let me get your client's file. And all right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Juan Diego Loera Macias, file number 22-20893FH. I have attorney Julian Puda appearing on behalf of the defendant, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time scheduled for a final pretrial in this matter. So Mr. Puda, or what, let me see here. This is second pretrial, it looks like. Let me see, when did we arraign him? Okay, no, looks like this is a final pretrial. So Mr. Puda, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, I did have some discussions with Mr. Sneed yesterday and my client. I'm asking if you could reset it for another pretrial for purposes of negotiations.
I'm gonna do that, but I'm also gonna set it for trial.
Okay.
This is an older file, so hold on one second. Ms. Adams, let's see, the allegations are multiple counts of felonious assault, domestic assault and battery, and felony firearm. So Ms. Adams, I'm looking for about a 2-day jury trial.
Okay.
If you could pick something later out so we have more time.
So I'm looking in April.
Okay.
The parties, Your Honor, have a pending divorce. I think if the divorce is resolved, we may be able to better resolve this case. So you have something a little bit later out.
Who has the divorce case?
I believe, Your Honor, it's before you.
Okay. Do you know if he has a divorce trial scheduled? Are you on the divorce case?
No.
All right, Mr. Loera Macias, do you have a divorce trial date scheduled?
Next Monday.
I believe you had the
trial.
trial, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I can set the divorce for trial as well when we come in on Mondays. So I think I'm fine with an April criminal trial date.
Okay, Judge, you have 3 scheduled April 4th already. 2 scheduled April 11th.
Who are the attorneys?
Mr. Murphy and Mr. Fry. The other ones are Mr. Murphy. And then after that, you have your 8-day civil trial starting on April 17th.
Okay, what civil trial is that?
Ritchie versus Tetters.
Well, thank goodness criminal preempt civil. So what date would that be then?
That's
Fine.
Well, that starts on Monday, April 17th.
But I'm not on.
So why don't we do April 19th?
Okay. That's a
All right.
Wednesday.
Your Honor, I have another trial set on April 11th. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
All right, Kevin Cousins, hold on a second. Kevin Cousins, can you mute yourself, please? Or I'll just do it. All right, you have a trial starting April 11th.
Yeah, I don't know how many days it's gonna go. It's got a co-defendant. So I'm
All
asking
right,
if,
can we go one more week out, Miss Adams?
All right. And then on April 25th, you've got day 6 and then another criminal trial with Mr. Goldstein for 7 days.
Is that Mauer?
That is Mendoza.
What was that day?
April 25th.
What about April 25th, Mr. Pudo?
that should be fine, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll do April 25, 23 at 9 a.m. That'll be in person, and I'll set a final pretrial for March 8th. Are you available that day, Mr. Pudo?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that'll be at 8:30 in the morning. And then I will require that all motions, case-specific jury instructions and voir dire questions be filed with the court by April 14. And I have filled out the scheduling order. I'm going to sign it. And we will get a copy of that out to all the parties. Thank you. All right, so thank you, Mr. Puda. Thank you, Mr. Macias.
Your Honor, do I need to file anything, as stipulated order or anything?
No, I just did the scheduling
Okay.
order, so you're
All right.
set.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your Honor, our translator's name is Michelle Denniston.
And I've got her. All right. Thank you. I'm just waiting for her to connect the audio. There she is. No, she did not connect. Let me try it again. Right, I'm gonna send connection information to her because she did not connect. Oh, look at the screen. No, look at the screen. There you go. No. All right. Who represents Mr. Faust again?
I do, Your Honor.
Oh, Mr. Daly. All right, let me grab Mr. Faust. All right, in the matter of, wait, she's connecting. Yes, yes. All right, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Logan Nicholas Faust, file number 22-21170FH. I have James Daly appearing on behalf of Mr. Faust, who has zoomed in, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial conference in this matter. Mr. Daly, it appears it is the first pretrial conference. So, Mr. Daly, how would you like to proceed today?
I'd like to have this matter set for trial, Your Honor.
All right, very good. 1 day trial, Mr. Daly?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, he's charged, okay. Miss Adams, I'm looking for a 1 day jury trial.
Okay. How far out?
Mr. Daly, about 2 months.
That'd be fine.
Okay. So whatever we have, about 2 months out.
Tuesday, March 7th, you already have 2 scheduled. One of them is Monroe.
Who are the attorneys on it?
O'Keefe and Goldstein, I believe.
Okay, not that one then.
And then on Tuesday, March 14th, you have 2 scheduled with Mawad and Mr. Murphy.
Mr. Mawad, is that trial going? You're muted. How about the next one?
Sorry, Judge. I guess the prosecutor's meeting with the victim on February 3rd, and I'll know more after that. Sorry.
That's okay. All right. How about the next one, Miss Adams?
We've got 3 scheduled on April 4th. Murphy and Fry.
Next one.
2 scheduled on April 11th with Mr. Murphy.
Yeah, they're coming up. They're coming up. Okay. They're not up yet. Okay.
All right, is April 11?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Daly, April 11.
I'm in, I have a murder trial in Judge Olsaver's court all week long, Judge.
Okay, next week, Miss Adams.
And then April 17th is when your civil trial starts.
Is that the same one?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's do April 17th at 9 a.m. Mr. Daly, what about April 17th?
The Trevino trial is still scheduled. I expect it could be over by then, but I
All
don't
right, how
know.
about one more week, Miss Adams?
Okay. The next week is when your 7-day trial with Mendoza and Mr. Goldstein starts.
Oh, not that day. Keep going.
May 2nd, you have 2 scheduled. Oh, that's continuing the 7-day. May 9th, you've got Mr. Goldstein again with Taylor Posey.
Let's back it up to that. What day was that?
Actually, I apologize. We have 3 co-defendants, 3-day trial starting on the 8th.
The next week?
And then you're not available Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday that next week. We've got 2 scheduled May 23rd with Mr.
For the
Davis and
attorneys.
Mr. Murphy.
What day, May 23rd?
Yes.
All right, May 23rd, Mr. Daly?
Oh, that's fine, Judge. I've already set for a trial in your court that day, but I don't mind backing it up with this one. I'm pretty sure the first one's gonna.
Okay, so we'll do May 23rd at 9 a.m. for a jury trial, and I will require that all motions be filed and heard, as well as jury questions, voir dire questions be provided to the court by May 12 of 23. And Mr. Daly, if somehow there's a resolution, just call and Miss Adams will schedule you in. All right?
I'll do that, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Daly. Okay, all right, so Michelle from the Public Defender's Office, I'm gonna ask you to unmute, please. All right, can you raise your right hand? All right, do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will truly, accurately, and impartially interpret in the matter now before the court and not divulge confidential communications?
I do.
All right, so ma'am, we have Mr. Pasquale, who is with us from the Lenawee County Jail. Could you please tell him that we were not aware that he needed an interpreter?
Okay. No sabían que necesitabas un intérprete.
Oh. And I apologize.
te dan muchos sentimientos.
Okay. Ms. Hennigan, do you want to arraign him today with the services of her from the public defender's office, or do you want me to set it out still?
Your Honor, I'd like to go forward with the arraignment today.
Okay. Michelle, what is your last name?
Deniston?
Okay, are you a certified court interpreter?
No, I'm not. And I'm going to explain that to him if you want me to.
No, so we can't proceed today, Ms. Hennigan, but
Okay.
she can just let him know that we'll be back on February 1 at 8:15 for rearrangement with a certified court translator.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Te van a traer para atrás el segundo de febrero.
Segundo de febrero.
Segundo de febrero, sí. Porque no tienen alguien que está certificado. Yo no soy certificada, pero yo puedo hablar español. Pero te van a traer para atrás.
Está bien.
He said, okay.
All right, gracias. All right, tell him he can go now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, Miss Adams, will you let the jail know that they can let him go? All right, so Miss Brenner and Miss Underwood, we have Christopher Brown. Is he in jail? No.
No, Your Honor.
Let's see, I think he's in. I have a Chris, amazing. All right, Mr. Brown, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Christopher Owen Brown, file number 21-20325FH. I have Brenda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Brown, and I have Sarah Renner appearing as Assistant Attorney General in this matter. This is a date and time scheduled for a first pretrial in this matter. Ms. Underwood, how do you wish to proceed today on behalf of Mr. Brown?
Your Honor, I've talked to Ms. Brown, Mr. Brown, and I've talked to Ms. Brenner, and I believe Ms. Brenner would have no objection to this matter being adjourned, Your Honor, perhaps 6 weeks, or 6 or 8 weeks to allow payments to come in, Your Honor. I know Mr. Brown is going to be making a large payment on February 2nd. So we would ask that this matter be adjourned. And I will take, if you'll give us a date, I will take care of the stipulation in order.
And Your Honor, just so the court's aware, I don't think this is the first pretrial. This case has gone on for a while. We've been adjourning it, awaiting his disability decision.
No, that's right.
So he's made sporadic efforts with payments, but I don't have an objection to giving a little bit more time so we can get that decision and get a plan in place here.
All right, April 5 at 8:30, is that all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
April 5 at 8:30.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right,
Your
Mr.
permission to
Brown,
sign
we'll
stip and
send this
order?
over to April 5 at 8:30 in the morning. Miss Underwood will do the stipend order.
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Brown, it's important that you be making an effort to make payments during this time period, all right?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much. I apologize
All right,
again.
thank you.
Get straightened around.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you,
Miss
Your Honor.
Arnold, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize because your name is Arnold A. So
Okay.
I'm sorry, I left you in the waiting room for a while.
No
Ms.
problem.
Brenner, did you have anything else this morning?
No, Your Honor. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
From the jail, I can start with Rodriguez Lofton, Richard
Yes, he's coming
Kelly,
next.
Darren Baker, and Joel Orozco. Any of those would be fine. Thank you.
Mr. Lofton coming next.
Okay, thank you. Is anybody in here a defendant? What is your name? Say it again.
Harley Olmstead.
All right, and you're a defendant too? Who's your attorney? Elias Mawad? Okay, do I still have Mr. Mawad? He might have popped down to Judge Olsavers. Who's your attorney?
Matt Murphy.
Matt Murphy, okay. Why don't you come up to the podium?
Okay.
Miss Van Duzen, will you be handling Harley Olmstead?
Yes, Your Honor, I will be.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Harley Wayne Olmstead, file number 22-20693FH. I have Dawn Van Duzen appearing on behalf of Mr. Olmstead, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time scheduled for, let's see what I got here. First pretrial conference in this matter. I'm looking, it says please plead to, does it count 2 and 3, dismiss everything else, no upfront jail. That's a plea offer that was made according to my notes, Ms. Van Duzen. So Ms. Van Duzen, how do you wish to proceed today with Mr. Olmstead?
At this time, Mr. Olmstead is going to plead not guilty. It's the notes I have regarding it. I need a chance to talk to him further, and it looks like we might need to do a motion to quash if there was an exam done on this case.
Okay. All right. So do you want Mr. Olmstead to contact you?
Yes, immediately.
All right. So Mr. Olmstead, you can do a couple things. You can call, you can walk over and schedule an appointment to meet with her now at her office. She's busy this morning, but you can, I mean, it's a block away. You can schedule the appointment. So I'm going to set this out to March 8th at 8:30 in the morning. Miss Adams, Mr. Olmstead is here. Could I get a notice of hearing for him?
Okay.
So Miss Van Duzen, because he's here, I'm going to give him a notice. So you don't need to do this step in order, all right?
Thank you very much.
All right, so Mr. Olmstead, just have a seat. We'll get you a notice of hearing, and then make sure you schedule an appointment to meet with Ms. Van Duzen, all right?
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Cousins.
Yes, Your Honor.
Represent?
Sorry about that.
Who do you represent?
Mr. Relliford, we have a
All
pretrial.
right, let me find the file. Hold on. Let me find the file. Do you have Mr. Relliford with you?
I do not.
Mr.
And I
Relliford in
have
the
been
courtroom?
unable to get a hold of him.
All right, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jerry Lee Relliford III, file number 21-20509FH. I have attorney Kevin Cousins. What's your P number, Mr. Cousins?
P85044.
Appearing on behalf of the defendant, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This was a date and time set for a final pretrial in this matter. Trial is scheduled for January 31 of 2023 at 9 a.m. He is not on my jail list. He is not in my waiting room. I am going to issue a bench warrant for his arrest. I'm going to set bond. This is weapons charges, so I'm going to set bond in the amount of $150,000 cash. And then I will set the January 31 of 2023 trial date for a pretrial at 9 a.m. just in case he shows up. Mr. Cousins, if you're able to reach Mr. Relliford, please just notify the court and we can bring him in as soon as you let us know. All right.
I will do that, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Cousins.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Right. So I have a gentleman in a jersey. I can't read what it says. What is your name, sir? Mr. Dotson. All right. Who's your attorney?
I do not know.
I have them, Your Honor.
Today is okay. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus John Anthony Dotson, file number 22-20897FH. I have Dawn Van Duzen appearing on behalf of Mr. Dotson. Mr. Dotson is appearing via Zoom. Ms. Van Duzen, this is the date and time, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time scheduled for the final pretrial conference in this matter, and we are set for jury trial on April 11 of 2023 at 9 a.m. Mr. Dotson, I have a note in here that we still do not have fingerprints on you. Did you go get your fingerprints taken?
Yeah, I thought I did, but I can go do it again.
All right, and just contact the Adrian Police Department and they'll let you know when you can go do that, all right?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Dotson. Ms. Van Duzen, how would you like to, the trial's quite a bit out, so.
Yeah, Mr. Dotson's going to plead not guilty in this matter. He has a new felony that's coming up. I think there's a preliminary exam on that on January 24th. So I'd ask for another pretrial within 6 weeks to see what we're going to do on both of those cases.
All right.
I thought you had to walk her around.
Okay, so 6 weeks out would be about March 8th at 8:30.
That will work. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I will leave the trial date on and we'll set it for pretrial March 8th at 8:30 for a final pretrial. Ms. Van Duzen, you do the step in order
Yes.
for the pretrial?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dotson. And if you can just set the time, get your fingerprints taken for us, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. You're all set, you can go. All right, Ms. Van Duzen, I do have, I do have Mr. Lofton. The matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Rodriguez Damon Lofton, file number 23-21207FH. This is the date and time set for arraignment in this matter. I have Dawn Van Duzen appearing on behalf of Mr. Lofton, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. So, Ms. Van Duzen, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
I do, Your Honor, but isn't that Joel Orozco? That doesn't look like Mr.
No, Mr. Orozco is wearing black shirt or green, and Mr. Lofton is wearing the orange.
Got it, Your Honor. Yes, we waived the reading, Your Honor, and we have received the information. We plead not guilty in this matter and ask for a pretrial date.
How far would you like a pretrial date?
About 8 weeks, Your Honor.
Oh,
All right, so how about March 15 at 8:30 in the morning?
That will work. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and we'll prepare the notice or at 8:30 in the morning because it's arraignment. So Mr. Lofton, I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'll continue your bond and we'll set this for pretrial on March 15 at 8:30 in the morning. All right, Mr. Lofton, we'll see you back on that day. Now we'll do Mr. Orozco's file. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joel Jesus Orozco, file number 23-21209FH. I have Dawn Van Duzen appearing on behalf of Mr. Orozco, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time scheduled for arraignment in this matter. Ms. Van Duzen, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
Yes, Your Honor, and I have received information from the prosecutor, and Mr. Orozco is pleading not guilty at this time. We're asking for a pretrial date within the next couple of weeks. I think we can work something out. He's been working with CMH.
Okay. Mr. Orozco, I
what
will
charge is this for?
I'm sorry, Mr. Orozco.
What charge is this for, ma'am? I'm sorry.
So today we're here for arraignment. So your attorney waived your arraignment. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. She's asking for a pretrial a couple weeks out. So I'm gonna set it over to February 1, 2 weeks out, okay?
Yes, that's what I was gonna ask, because I go to court on my other stuff on February 1st. That's what I was gonna ask you. I'm sorry for cutting you off, though.
No, it's okay, Mr. Resco. So yeah, we'll set it for February 1 with your other stuff. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, Mr. Resco, and we'll see you back on that day, all right?
All right, have a good one.
You too. All right, and we'll do the notice on that because it's an arraignment. Mr. Baker, how are you?
Yes, how you doing?
I'm good. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Darren Toshia Baker. We have 3 files, 22-20898FH, 22-20899FH, and 22-20900FH. This is the date and time, I believe, for pre-trial on Mr. Baker's case. I have Dawn Van Dusen appearing on behalf of Mr. Baker, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. So, Ms. Van Dusen, let's see, how do you wish to proceed today?
Your Honor, in this case, I'm going to ask for a forensic of competency along with criminal responsibility.
All right, Mr. Sneed?
Your Honor, my notes indicate that that's been done, at least with respect to file ending 9/8 FH.
So I do have an order for evaluation relative to criminal responsibility and competency that was filed by Mr. Murphy back in October. And let me see if he did it on all the files. I would assume he did. Hold on. I actually have an opinion in file number 22-20899FH, timestamped December 13 of 2022. Ms. Van Dusen, do you want me just to set this for another pretrial pretty quick?
Yes.
I know
Your Honor,
you're getting
please.
up to speed on these files still, so.
Yes, please, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Baker, I'm gonna set this over. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, I would like, a please agreement and a plea agreement and a PR by, if so, ma'am, a plea agreement and a PR by.
All right, thank you, Mr. Baker. Ms. Van Dusen will be working on looking at your competency reports and also working on a plea agreement, if that's what you would like. I'm not going to give you a PR bond at this time, but I'm gonna set it over 2 weeks, okay? So I'm gonna bring you back in 2 weeks, and that'll be on February 1 at 8:30 in the morning, okay?
Okay, ma'am, is there a way I can talk to my lawyer?
Ms. Van Dusen, do you have a moment?
I will call
My
him
lawyer,
afterwards.
yeah.
Okay, Mr. Baker,
Baker.
hold on, Mr. Baker. Ms. Van Dusen just said she's going to contact you after court is over today, okay?
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Baker, I'll see you back in 2 weeks, okay?
Okay, a plea agreement.
Yes, sir. Ms. Van Dusen will talk to you about that, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Baker. You're all set. Miss, you want to come up? All right, Mr. Mawad, I do have Kelsey Quinn here.
Sorry about that, Judge. I had to do a quick plea at another court. Sorry for taking off.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't call it sooner, so.
No,
right,
not
so
at all. I'm not like that. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I know. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kelsey Leanne Quinn, file number 22-21168FH. I'm Elias Mawad appearing on behalf of Ms. Quinn, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date time scheduled for a first pretrial conference in this matter. Mr. Mawad, how would you like to proceed with Ms. Quinn?
So Ms. Quinn is going to have a CPS trial with Mr. Noe in the court on, Kelsey, is it January 25th?
Yes.
Okay. Can we set it
Is that
another
with me?
pretrial? Because I talked,
Is
no,
that the
it's
other
with
Judge
the,
Sala?
the Judge Sala. Yeah. And I talked to Ms. Wise about this. She'd like to see what happens in that court before we try to resolve the criminal matter. So would the court be kind enough maybe to set this in March sometime?
Sure. Any objection,
March
Mr.
1st?
Sneed?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Adams. I'm not available March 1, but Mr. Mawad, what did we set your other one for? I think I said, where did your? Somewhere here on my docket. Weren't you here on another case this morning?
Was I? No.
All right, how about
If I-
March? I'm not available March 1, but what about March 8?
Sounds right. If there's, obviously if there's an issue, I always will let your court know, but that sounds right. That sounds right.
So Mr. Mawad, because Ms. Quinn's here, I'll provide a notice of hearing and we'll send that out, all right?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Ms. Quinn, just have
All
a
right.
seat on the bench and we'll get you a notice of hearing, all right? Thank you, Mr. Mawad.
No problem. Kelsey, I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Baker, you're all set. You can go.
Huh?
You're all set. You go ahead and go back to your block.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, what happened, ma'am? I don't understand what happened.
Well, Mr. Baker, your attorney is gonna call you and come and talk to you today and she'll explain more, okay?
Okay, what now?
Your attorney is gonna contact you. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Anybody else a defendant in the courtroom? You are. All right, hold on. Who's your attorney? John Glacier. Miss Van Dusen, no, you're John Glacier. Okay, I think Mr. Glacier is down the hall in front of Judge
No.
Olsaber.
Your Honor, I do have Mr. Wetzel.
Yes, are you gonna handle that today? Okay,
Yes.
so Mr. Wetzel, you wanna come on up to the podium? Thank you, Ms. Quinn. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Matthew Mark Wetzel, file number 22-20850FH. I have Dawn Van Dusen appearing on behalf of Mr. Wetzel, who is seated in the courtroom. And I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial conference in this matter. Ms. Van Dusen, how do you wish to proceed today?
My understanding by the notes is that Mr. Wetzel is going to plead, but it looks like we may need an amended complaint.
Mr. Sneed?
I don't believe we have a final plea agreement worked out, Judge. We're still negotiating restitution. We received some communication from the public defender back just before Christmas in mid-December, and we still need an opportunity to discuss that with Mr. Wetzel's attorney.
All right, Ms. Van Dusen?
We are Mr. Wetzel's attorney.
No, I know that, but what is the plea offer as you understand it?
It was for 5-year embezzlement, Killebrew to no upfront jail, and restitution. Whatever it
All right.
decides to be.
And then Mr. Sneed, does restitution need to be determined now, or can there be a hearing on it?
Your Honor, it's not necessarily the amount of restitution, it's the method in which it's going to be paid. So we need more time.
Okay. All right. All right, I'm going to set this out to February 15 at 8:30 in the morning. And let's see. And that should give you enough time to meet and finalize whatever agreement.
It will, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, so Mr. Wetzel, we'll see you back here on February 15th at 8:30 in the morning. I'm gonna get you a notice.
Can I ask a quick question?
What is your name, please?
My name's Kristen Brown, his sister. Will we be working with Ms. Van Duzen or Mr. Glacier moving forward?
So Ms. Van Duzen.
Why don't you give my office a call? Mr. Glacier was not feeling good again today, but I can work with Mr. Wetzel if needed. If it's more convenient.
All right, Ms. Adams, could I get a notice of hearing from Mr. Wetzel because he is in the courtroom?
Yes.
Okay. Are you just intern?
Yes.
All right, so I have intern, but I do not have, let's see. Just wait right there, we'll get you a notice, okay? So let's see, so we've not done that, we've done that one. That one. All right, so from the jail, I'm just looking for Richard Kelly. I got Sam Malaro. So I'm pretty much good on everybody from the jail. Mr. Malaro, did you know that Mr. Roberts was picked up? Did you get that paperwork?
I did, Your Honor.
Excellent. All right, so we'll see who we get from the jail, but let's see who's not in custody. All right.
Judge, if I may.
Sure.
I'm showing Samantha Ladd on your schedule. Do you have all three of her files? There's a question about that.
I have 3 files on Samantha Ladd.
Okay, that's fine. That's great. Thank you.
All right, and she's in custody.
Yes.
So let's see. Do I have anybody who's not in custody left? No? We did that one. Rosenberg. All right, so everyone I have left is in custody. So I am going to give my staff just a brief recess. And I'll be right back while we're waiting for the jail.
Looking to middle and control amongst officers ready to see Ladd.
Middle clear. Roll clear up. Yeah.
Can we go get him? No, he's right there. All right. Miss Ladd, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Mr. Malaro. All right, this is in the map. Is this yours, Miss Arnold?
Christopher Mauer.
Christopher Mauer's yours?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, all right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Samantha Diane Ladd, file number 22-20961 FH, 22-20962 FH, and 22-20963 FH. Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Ms. Ladd, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. So this is the date and time set for pre-trial. Mr. Malaro, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, may I have a quick breakout with Ms. Ladd, and then I think we can proceed.
Okay,
Won't take
so
long.
Ms. Ladd, I am going to open a breakout room and assign you and Mr. Malaro to that breakout room. Let me change, hold on, let me change your screen name because I've got two jail windows and I always end up putting the wrong person in it, so. All right, so I'm gonna open that breakout room.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and there is no one in my waiting room because there's nobody that's not in jail. Ms. Van Duzen, I'm just waiting for someone to come in the room from the jail.
Okay, thank you, yeah. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Malaro, I will close the breakout room. So, Mr. Malaro, you've had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Ladd.
I have, Your Honor.
All right, and how would you like to proceed with Ms. Ladd?
Your Honor, if the court would, I'd like to adjourn this to February 1st. There was a plea offer on these cases on the table that Ms. Ladd and I were in the middle of trying to decide what to do. And then she also has a couple of new felonies that are scheduled for exam on the 30th of January. We're in the middle of looking into those. And I think we would be in a better position to resolve these at that time.
So February 1st is full because I'm up to 23 trials now.
Okay.
I can do February 8th.
That's fine, Judge.
All right. So Ms. Ladd, I'm going to set this for another pre-trial on February 8th at 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Malaro, you will do the stiffen order to adjourn.
I will, yeah, Judge.
All right,
And,
Ms. Ladd,
Judge,
thank you.
If we get this worked out ahead of time, we can come back in earlier.
Please
Okay.
do. I'd rather take please on any other day than a Wednesday if I can. So,
I'm with you, Judge. All right.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Ladd, you're all set.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Arnold and Mr. Malaro, did you need a bench conference on Mauer?
Yeah, I would say we could do that.
Ms. Arnold?
That's fine, Judge. Does that mean I come up there in person? I don't know what that means exactly.
That means I go live off of YouTube and I put the jail in the waiting room. And I